You could simply take a very neutral stance or a stance against many of the policies that the U.S. government is currently pursuing. And there are some individuals, and they're not all Chinese speaking. There could be some people on the left, some people on the right take these positions. If those types of candidates were to use WeChat, they would be favorably received. They might be promoted on WeChat. If you took a position that was more anti the party, you would be penalized. And I think a great example is a candidate in Toronto in the Canadian election who was strongly, let's say, penalized, demoted, criticized on WeChat before the last Canadian election, and now clearly documented. There's even been a report out in the last week that using WeChat and using people working in the embassy and using some Chinese companies, or could be Chinese Canadian companies that were closely affiliated with the party, that basically there was a direct interference in Canadian politics, and that specific candidate might have won in the previous election, but because that candidate took a very anti-CCP position in terms of some of the policies he was pursuing for the Conservative Party in Canada, he did far worse at the last election than the party did. So he was uniquely attacked and saw a unique decline in his popular support, partly because he was in a district with a lot of Chinese speakers. And that is the thing that can happen in the United States as well, that the party will favor specific candidates. It already favors particular parties. It will swing back and forth on WeChat who it supports, depending upon who is taking a less tough stand on China, but it can do the same for particular candidates. And where there's a lot of users of WeChat in a specific congressional district, that could make a significant difference in election outcomes in the United States. Why should we care about this issue? We should care about this issue because it gives the party, the Chinese Communist Party, and China as a country, which is a rival, a threat to our freedoms around the world, it gives them a way to directly intervene in our society and our politics. It can lead to the promotion or demotion of certain candidates, certain parties. It can lead the party to directly influence the ability of Chinese Americans to organize, Chinese Americans to develop their own civil society organizations. It really has strong impact on the media. Not only the media, WeChat itself, it has a strong impact on Chinese language newspapers, Chinese language websites. Anything in the Chinese language ecosystem can be influenced by WeChat, because WeChat as the super app is where everyone is starting, and then they're flowing off. Imagine WeChat as the trunk, and they flow off to other branches. Through WeChat, again, the party can influence politics, can influence civil society, can influence media, news. It can influence the ability of Chinese Americans to organize.